Good morning all, my name is Josh Wilbert and welcome to my analysis and presentation of the case study Parental Apathy. Integral to the success of any educational institution is the bond forged between school and community. More specifically, it is essential that educational leaders collaborate with families and community members to understand and respond to their diverse needs. In addition, community resources must be gathered, allocated, and mobilized to ensure the educational success of all students. Finally, the relationship between educational leaders and community members must be built on trust and respect. This type of relationship can be developed and nurtured through the collaboration between administration and community and the shared vision and ownership of the educational process this practice creates. With this stated, the case study, Parent Apathy, will be analyzed and ultimately resolved through the implementation of the case scenario approach and the application of ISLLC Standard Number 4. Category 1, Problem Identification and Analysis. What do I know? The facts of the case are as follows. Mrs. Rose is a first-year assistant principal at John F. Kennedy High School who had been looking forward to her new job and quickly learned how important it was to have a comprehensive program with parental and community involvement. Mrs. Rose's new school appeared to have a very limited program with little contact or involvement with the parents and the larger community. Mrs. Rose has expressed her concerns to her principal, but she hadn't received much encouragement. Mrs. Rose's principal claims that he has a sense that the community didn't want to be involved. Mrs. Rose again expressed her concern, and finally her principal relented. While allowing a parental advisory group, he would allow nothing more. An invitation to parents to attend a special meeting was distributed to students, and the response was somewhat underwhelming. The night of the meeting, only 8 parents showed up. What do I need to know? Well, in order to resolve the issue at hand in a fair and ethical manner, there is more information that needs to be collected. To begin, I must assess what is the heart of the perceived parent apathy. Does it stem from a fractured relationship between school and community, or even district and community? Next, I must discover if the school or the district has access to community contact information, which they should, meaning email or phone, and access to parent-linked technology. In addition, I must assess the school's presence on social media and the school's representation within the media. Moreover, it is essential that I contact the district offices and inquire about the services of a public relations professional. Does the district employ one? And may I enlist their services? And then finally, I must also assess the number of written announcements that were distributed to the students in their classrooms at the end of the day that actually found their way into the hands of parents. Problem identification. The problem in this case involves school apathy begatting parental apathy. To begin, the current administration has done very little to engage parents and community members in school activities and the educational process. Because few parents showed up for meetings and response was poor to the principal's attempts to solicit volunteer cafeteria workers, his position is that parents and community members don't want to get involved. This position has resulted in little communication between building leadership and parents in the community. Based on his perceptions, the principal of John F. Kennedy High School has failed to make himself visible within the community to assess and respond to the diverse needs of said community and mobilize community resources. And finally, both Ms. Rose, up to this point, and her principal have failed to employ effective modes and methods of communication to ignite parental and community involvement. Category 2, my proposed plan of action with appropriate strategies for implementation. I propose the following plan of action to resolve the issues of this case. I will enlist the services of the 8 parents that attended the special meeting on parent involvement. This core 8, as I call them, will serve as the foundation of my parent advisory council. This council will serve as my link to the community. As such, they will help me better understand the apathy towards community involvement. Now, with the guidance of the council, I will become a visible fixture within the community. Throughout the community, the council and I will run a grassroots campaign to ignite excitement about school and community while developing a comprehensive program with parental and community involvement. In addition to the work with my Parent Advisory Council, I will analyze the school's communication modes and methods and assess our presence on various media outlets. And finally, as stated earlier in this review, I will contact district offices to inquire about the availability of a public relations professional. Strategies for implementation. The strategies I will incorporate to implement my proposed plan of actions are to develop a school newsletter. My parent council and I will initially spearhead the development of this newsletter and slowly enlist the services of the journalism or English departments to ultimately transfer responsibility. This newsletter will be a monthly correspondence between school and parents and community stakeholders. In addition to the monthly newsletter correspondence, I intend to hold regularly scheduled community events. These events will be highlighted by an open house and parent night to kick off every school year and conclude with an end-of-the-year celebration for students, parents, and community members. To improve the connectivity between schools and parents, I will deliver parent link messages directly to email inboxes and phones to advertise all school events. Additionally, I will seek out the involvement of my site technology specialist, district technology specialist, and or my building technology teacher to assist in the assessment of the school's presence on the internet. With the aid of any one of these three professionals, I will ensure that a user-friendly school website is fully functioning and we are represented professionally and purposefully on social media networks. I intend to develop and nurture any existing relationship between the school and the media. This will be done through open communication with newspaper and television outlets and invitations to attend school-sponsored events. And finally, throughout the process of igniting the fire of parent and community involvement, I will work directly with the district's public relations professional by meeting monthly to collaborate and seek guidance on further strategies for increased community involvement. However, if a district public relations professional does not exist, I will serve as the school's public relations professional while stressing the importance of this position to district leadership. Category 3, resolve the issues based on promoting the success of all students. What is best for the students? My resolution to the problem presented in this case study promotes the success of all students through the development of clear channels of communication between school and community. No longer will parent phone calls and comments from parents' conferences be the only method of communication implemented at this school. Through the efforts of the Parent Advisory Council, this direct pipeline into the community will increase student and parent involvement in school-sponsored community events while serving as an adult voice for their students. No longer will perceived parent apathy be a concern. Finally, my resolution to the problem presented in this case study promotes the success of all students through the forging of a relationship between school leadership and community. Once fractured, the resolution to this case will reconnect administration to the community and community to administration, allowing for the development of a truly shared vision of education that will be promoted and championed in the homes of all students, and through the construction of a comprehensive program with parental and community involvement. With more work to be done, the foundation has been securely laid. Category 4, thinking, feeling, valuing, and unresolved issues. Thinking. Throughout the process of coming to a resolution for this case, I could not help thinking about wasted resources. From parents to community stakeholders, the previous administration had failed to mobilize the resources available. I couldn't help thinking about fractured relationships between the previous administration and parents and community members, and about the operation of the school, a tall task made even more difficult because of a lack of parent and community involvement. Feeling. As I responded to this case, I felt responsible. As an educational leader, it is my responsibility to collaborate with families and community members to promote the success of all students. I felt dismayed by the lack of effort of the building principal to involve families and community members in the educational process and mobilize community resources. And ultimately, I felt encouraged as the steps to healing a broken relationship became clear and the prospects of increased involvement improved. Valuing. Throughout this process, and as evidenced by my resolution, I valued clear and transparent communication with all stakeholders through multiple modes and outlets. I valued relationships between school and community, and I valued student success by communicating clearly with families and community members and mobilizing the resources to ensure student achievement. The unresolved issues of this case. The three issues that I believe remain unresolved are as follows. 1. Why won't the building principal approve of any type of PTA or PTO? Are there greater issues to resolve here? Is the principal's lack of encouragement isolated to this case? Or will I continue to receive little support on new initiatives? Is district leadership aware of this principal's behavior? And thirdly, is the limited program with little contact or involvement with parents and the larger community at John F. Kennedy High School standard in this district? Will I receive the support and resources to continue to build my pipeline? Category 5, reflection on ISLLC Standard 4. Component 1. As the building level administrator, it is evident that I collaborated with families and community members to contribute to the school's success through the development of a parent council to serve as the pipeline between school and community, through representing my school as the visible presence and fixture within the community, and through campaigning within the community for parent support to develop and promote a truly shared vision of education for my building. Component 2. As the building level administrator, I will respond to the diverse needs and interests of the community on an ongoing basis, through, again, the efforts of my parent council within the greater community, my direct connection to the community during the proposed monthly school-sponsored events, and through the open channels of communication found on the internet via the school's website and social media outlets. Component 3. As the building level administrator, I mobilized community resources to address and help solve problems in a way that supports the school through implementing the assistance of the resources currently available, my core 8, through mobilizing my newly developed parent council, connecting with community members while drumming up support, through opening and the channels of communication to include multiple modes and methods, parent link, school website, Facebook, Twitter, newspaper, TV, and radio, and through increasing the visibility of the school, hosting monthly school and community events. Conclusion. In conclusion, my resolution to the case study, Parental Apathy, reflects my adherence to being an administrator who promotes the success of all students by collaborating with families and community members, responding to diverse community needs and interests, and mobilizing community resources. In reaching my conclusion and rendering a plan of action supported by effective strategies for implementation, I incorporated my understanding that a strong relationship between school and community is integral to the success of all educational institutions. Without the belief and understanding of the importance of community involvement and the importance of mobilizing community resources, a collaborative, effective, and mutually beneficial resolution cannot be developed to the problem in the case study, Parental Apathy. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view my presentation to the case study Parental Apathy, and I would like to say have a wonderful rest of the day.